weekends are always slow. I don't know why, but I always have a hectic week, and then the weekends are always slow. And then I find myself like saying I'll do a bunch of things, and I never get them done, and that's every weekend. But then I also get that on days as well. Do you get days where like you sort of have a bunch of things to do, and you'll have them, but then you think about them all at the same time, so you get overwhelmed, and then you can't start on, and you start procrastinating, and then you can't start one thing because there's so many things to do, right? And so you don't know where to start, and then there's so many ways it could go, and how will the day go, and will I have time to do it all? And then what about this thing? And then a new thing comes up, and you just get overwhelmed. So I've come up. Well, it's not me that's come up with it, but it's no, it's not me that it's not me that's come up with this. But the principle is that has always happened, but now I've been trying to do that. I haven't come up with, but I've been trying to do it. Is just starting something and just do it for 5 minutes. Just do it for 5 minutes. And what I do as well, if everything's always too much, I turn off my phone. Like, I don't put it away. I don't put it in a different room. I just turn it off. I feel like a disconnect. I'm like, boom, it's done. I'm not going to check it. Even if I had to, even if I, like I've done that. So it's just off. And it feels weird, but there is some sort of disconnect there that's different from like just having it on standby or having it on silent. Standby, what am I saying? Just having it on silent, right? Or in another room. So I turn off my phone, and then I'm just like, right, don't look at the clock, don't do anything like that. Pick a thing and just do it for 5 minutes. That's all you have to do. So like, I wanted to read today. I had to tidy my room. I had like a couple of just like errands to do and stuff. And I was just like, and every time I thought about doing them, I would just procrastinate and do something else, right? And so I turned off my phone. I was just like, right, I'm just gonna read for 5 minutes. I'm just gonna do this thing I have to do for 5 minutes, and then suddenly 5 minutes becomes 5.5 minutes. Becomes 5 minutes 40 seconds. Then it becomes 6 minutes. Suddenly it's 15 minutes. But you start at the 5 minutes, and you say to yourself, like, as soon as 5 minutes is up, I can stop. I can just do whatever I like. But it's all basically, it just perpetuates the principle that the hardest bit is just starting it. Once you start it, then you're fine. Like, whatever you need to do, as soon as you start it, there'll be that initial like, oh, what am I doing? Oh, this is awful. And then as soon as you get past that, it's like, boom, let's do it. And sometimes that can take a while, sometimes it can't. But yeah, exactly. That's the two things, right? It's always the hardest bit is starting, and then it's never as hard as you think it's going to be, usually, anyways. Sometimes it is, but at that point, you've already started, so you've got some sort of momentum, something is happening. At the very least, you've made the effort to sit down and actually do this thing. And I fall off the wagon so many times. I'm just like, I'll do this thing, I don't do it. I'll do this thing, I don't do it. So now, what I've been trying recently is just, again, didn't make it up, it's obviously an age-old thing. I can't take credit for any of it, but it's just, put 5 minutes in. Just put 5 minutes in. Can't be bothered to do this, can't be bothered to do that. Just do it for 5 minutes. Just do it for 1 minute. And then suddenly, as soon as you've actually started it, then you're set. Then you're good to go. And I think that's pretty cool, So like, I've been meaning to clean my room for ages because like there's a bunch of things I've had to read, just jig about. And I'm just like, it's been weeks and I've not done it. I was like, I'll just do it for 5 minutes. And now it's been like 2 hours, and I didn't even notice that because I just wanted it for 5 minutes, and then suddenly you're just like, oh, I've started. I can do this. I can do that. I was gonna read for 5 minutes. An hour went by. That's probably a lie. Actually, like half an hour went by. So like, but it was more than the 5 minutes that I initially planned, and the actual act of like sitting down and doing it. And then the more you do that, the more you like again develop good habits. You develop consistent habits because especially if you haven't done something for a while, it can be very hard to go back into that thing. Like, oh, I haven't done this in a while, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, a bit busy tomorrow, I'll do this thing. You keep building it up. So if you just do it for 5 minutes, you suddenly go, oh, I've broken that initial like getting back into it. I've broken that like barrier or that reluctance, and now I can like more easily fall into it. So I suppose what I'm saying is like 5 minutes, just whatever you got to do. 5 minutes. Get a pen, get a paper, write it down, write a couple of things to do down, and just pick one and be like, right, I'm just going to put 5 minutes into this. And then it'll happen, You could pick like the easiest one. Yeah, you could do that. You could pick the hardest one, and then suddenly it just gets easier and easier and easier after that. So you end your day very lightly, So I just think pick which one that maybe you feel the least bit of reluctance towards and just start there for 5 minutes. And as soon as you start, it's like, oh, hang on, this is actually all right. This is fine. But it's just the act of doing it. 5 minutes, do the thing, pick the thing, do it for 5 minutes. So it would be a shame if this video was not 5 minutes.